go to the website and submit your comments or call. First order of business will be approval of the prior meeting minutes. I'll take a motion to approve them.
Motion to approve?
Second? Second. Okay. Because it's a hybrid meeting, we have to go around. Bridget?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next order of business will be the project update. Kate?
Yep. I just realized Tap Bay is not on yet. Danielle just joined, but we don't have Matt yet. But we'll go through the project update. So as everyone can see here, the greenhouse is coming along, the addition's coming along. The translucent panel on the front and back should be done by the end of the week.
Hey, you want to text him while you're going through this? I'm gonna text Matt while you're going
Yeah.
through this.
Sometimes he has computer problems, so, oh, no, I don't need that.
I'll just text him.
The flat work around the 1B athletic addition is ongoing. The concrete should be poured by the end of the month. Oh, I got him. The courtyard is, the landscape is coming along as well. The seed will go down by, I think, mid-November, if not late October. There's some concrete that's going on in there as well, so everything will just get cleaned up. Greenhouse panels should be in by the end of the week, and that greenhouse is getting turned over with the field house addition. It is part of 1B. And the gym is coming along inside. The painter has been working inside the gym, working top down. The MEPs finishes are ongoing, and the translucent panels, I think they're pretty much done at this point on the back side of the gym. The gym equipment is going in, so you'll see the basketball hoops. And then the wood floor is scheduled to go down starting the end of October. We had a wood floor kickoff meeting last week. So everyone's trying to get out of the way for the floor to start, and there is temp heating now in the gym as well. Agostini has broken through the Walpole TV room into the suite now. So there's a door connecting the existing Walpole TV space to the new Walpole TV space, and that is on the right here. You can see the drywall is in, the taping's ongoing. The ceiling should be going in by the end of the month, and the space is coming along, really taking shape. And you can't access this Walpole TV space from walking down the hallway in the addition. You have to access it from the exterior of the building or walking through the existing Walpole TV space. On the left here, this is the health room. So right now, mainly used for storage, but the drywall is gone in, and painting will be ongoing, and then finish some MEP above and get the ceiling in. On the right is one of the toilets in the addition. So you can see the plumbing coming through, the ceiling grid is up, and they're working through painting. The picture here on the left is the new electric room, so that is coming along, and the right is a transformer pad. So if you remember, we have to have one more shutdown when the transformer is delivered and hooked up. So the transformer should be arriving on site this week, I believe. We just got confirmation from Eversource today that we should see that this week. And then Griffin Electric has to pull their secondaries, and then Eversource will go back and pull their lines and do the overhead work that goes all the way down from going over the driveway extension where the Phase 4 site work is, and then down the new duct bank all the way around to this transformer location. So we are going to be planning a second shutdown. That should be a very quick shutdown. We don't have that date yet, but we'll coordinate closely with the school. So 3-week look ahead, I talked through most of this. Greenhouse install is ongoing, forming and placing the concrete at the walkways along 1B are ongoing. Curtain wall storefront install is ongoing. HVAC equipment was set on top of the field house last month. The courtyard landscaping is ongoing. The field house will be weather tight by the end of the week. The gym equipment install is ongoing, painting is ongoing, and the floor will start at the end of the month. And then in terms of the Phase 2 science wing items, the vinyl graphics were installed since our last meeting. So everyone should go up and take a look at them. They look great. And then the punch list is ongoing. We have had a few owner training items since we last met. And then I just have the note here about the Eversource. So then jumping over to the memos that were sent out. So there was 2 memos sent out. We'll start with the PCO memo. So I don't know if people have had a chance to read through it. Change order number 20 totals $40,204.76. Do members of the committee want us to go through the whole memo, or do you have any specific questions?
These are ones that I've signed off to keep the project going.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, most of them.
Yep.
Kate, this shows that we've got, after we sign this, let's change order 20 off, we've got $2.281 million remaining in contingency.
Correct.
And that's for the remaining work that has to get done after, from here going forward.
Yep, and then,
Have either you or TAPA identified any significant risks that you see that we may need a big chunk of money?
I think the biggest things on the PCO log is the paving right now. We do have to adjust the water line that goes along Phase 4. It gets dropped lower, and there's a drain line that gets dropped in the site. There are no big red flags that we see, knock on wood. The renovations going forward, hopefully there aren't any big surprises, but it's always, we never know what we're gonna come across in renovations. But it should be nothing compared to what we dealt with this summer. And Agostini is currently 71% complete with their contract. And we are currently, I believe, 38%, we've used 38% of the construction contingency. So if you're looking at the burn rate, Agostini is well beyond where we are with the burning of the, using of the contingency money.
Do we have anything big coming? Is there gonna be a big change order for Eversource, or is that already covered?
We shouldn't be seeing any more for Eversource. We do have the telecom lines. We're working on cleaning up those quotes now that we have the exact location those conduits are going. Matt, anything that you can think of that we need to forecast as a big risk?
Not really. I'm hoping, the gym renovation turning into the music suite is pretty straightforward because, it's a one large kind of open space and we're adding partitions in there. Like you said, we don't know what we're going to find when we start to demo the existing music suite and renovate that and new student services. So that's probably the biggest risk area going forward.
So, what's the pleasure of the board? Do we want to go through each one of the change orders, or do we want to vote them for a total right now? Any questions? Specific questions?
I'm fine voting as a total.
I'm sorry?
I am too.
Okay, all right. So I'll take a motion to approve change order 20 in the amount of $40,204.76.
So move.
Second,
Okay, and we'll pull the committee. Bridget?
yes.
Joe? John?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Thank you.
All right, and there was a second memo that was circulated on Friday. I don't know, Patrick, you want to talk to
I
it?
can take the lead on this one. So I'm pleased to inform the committee that, I think Jim had previously mentioned in person, that there's a $125,000 grant or earmark specific to this project for pedestrian improvements. So this is the second such grant that we've gotten from the Department of Education. So very pleased about this. So what this will allow us to do is we have some prior expenses that have already hit the project. that we've already expended and allow us to go back and reclassify those expenses towards this grant. In essence, creating an, $125,000 addition to our contingency. So, this is what we did with the first grant, so this is what the plan is for the second grant. So, kind of simultaneously, frankly, I was kind of concerned that this grant wasn't gonna come through after we were notified about it over the summer because of, the uncertainty with the federal government and just at the state level. But we got the notice last week, and so, simultaneously, there have been a few items that have come up that we've been kind of kicking around internally. So I know Jim in his memo, he more just wanted to introduce these ideas, not necessarily looking for any, not necessarily, we're not looking for any action tonight. We just more want to introduce these, and if, Jack, you were just asking about progress into the project, progress into the contingencies. If we get to a point further down the line where we feel comfortable bringing these to the committee's attention, one of the funding sources that we've identified would be this $125,000 essentially surplus. So those are exterior signage, interior floor spacing, and graphics and paint. So for the interior signage, what we're looking at is it's along the side of the new gym space. You've got this massive wall that when you're approaching the building from the side, like from the parking lot, we had the idea, actually we got the inspiration from the town of Norwood, who also just opened up a middle school. They've got this big end with a Mustang running through it, and we said, hey, wouldn't it be nice if, we broke up that big wall on the side of the building with something similar, a big graphic that, maybe it's a big W, whatever that is. We brought this idea up to Matt, the architect, and something that we're kicking around there, just something visually that isn't just a big wall. Second idea was the interior flooring and study spaces. These would be in the English wing and the history wing. These were items that Principal Inbush brought up from an academic perspective, in that if you go down those hallways, there really is no breakout spaces like you see in the middle school or like this new science breakout space. So there's some existing, almost like closet storage space there that we did a walkthrough a couple weeks ago with Cameron, with Matt, Principal Inbush, Jim and I, in both the history wing and the English wing, where maybe we could do some demolition there, establish some glass walls or maybe big window spaces, but essentially, instead of the kids just sitting down on the floor in groups in the hallway, you'd have these breakout spaces where they could do some work there. So I think a lot of this might, from a design perspective, it would be some structural design work, and then some slight demolition and construction in the English and history wings. The third item was the graphics and paint. This is something that when we were walking through the lower gym space with Chris Blesson, the architect, over the summer had come up, and that was essentially dressing up that long corridor going into that lower gym space and doing some work in that lower gym space. So it wasn't so much of a dungy basement for the athletes that are working out there and working there. So obviously these are very introductory. These are very basic at the moment. These ideas, these are things that we've got to kind of hash out. But these are things through the course of the project that have come up that we've kind of kept in the back burner. And just with this earmark of the $125,000, these are something that hey, maybe this would be a good candidates for that use of that money. So, any questions?
Patrick, one of the things I'll suggest is, one of the things you may want to look at to see if it could get covered by the grant. I don't know what the grant total is going to be about the individual things is, and we've talked about this, you're replacing all the banners in the gym.
Right.
And that was estimated to be $10,000, and we don't have $10,000 in the budget right now.
Okay.
So you may want to think about adding the replacement of the banners to this.
Okay. I will write that down, Jack.
Good idea.
Thank you. So more to come on that. I imagine, like I said, we're 71% of the way into the project. We've still got a little ways to go. So there may be a point where we feel more comfortable bringing forward a formal proposal.
Okay.
Just want to introduce these items tonight, so.
You don't require any action on this one right now.
Just notice.
Next one is the,
FF&E equipment review. So I will bring up the presentation, and Danielle is on from TAP A. Can you hear us, Danielle?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfect.
Just to introduce this, so we already purchased the furnishings that are going into the addition, but we did not purchase the equipment yet. That was still getting fine tuned, so this is the last round of FF&E for the 1B addition that'll be opening in January.
So just a quick overview of the quotes before we kind of break it down. So for this portion, I've been working with our vendors to get some of the equipment actually on contract, and then a handful is not on contract. So the contract purchases, we have Gopher Sports on the Sourcewell contract and Stafford Smith on the MHGC. And both of those quotes total to $13,021.05. And then on the non-contract purchases, we have a handful of vendors, break this down in a moment, but totaling to $16,429, which comes to a total of $29,421.34. So on the contracted purchases, we have 3 ball racks, 2 ball carts, 2 tabletop scoreboards, a turf roll with carts, and then an ice machine with filtration. So these purchases total to that 13,000 number. And then for the non-contract purchases, we have a taping table with 1 seat and 1 table, which will match the existing unit that the school has right now. We also have an American flag for the gym, 4 freestanding benches for the team room, 40 logo chairs with a cart, a combination baseball and softball pitching machine for the new batting cage, a storage tower cart, 2 dumbbell sets, 1 cuff weight set, 2 hot pack storage racks, and 1 heating unit with included hot packs. So that equipment totals to the $16,429.
So we met with the athletic director this fall and vetted these. Again, you know, we had met last spring with the old athletic director, and now we wanted to make sure we were transitioning into what the new athletic director needed in the new space. So I think, you know, all of these, working with the trainer and the AD, are needs for the space. And then just backing out, looking at the overall budget, where we are with the equipment and where we thought we were gonna be with the field house addition for the FF&E budget. So in April, the committee approved the $29,202 for the furniture. So this is an additional $29,421, bringing the total to $58,624 for the 1B. We initially, the projection during design was we would be about $48,400, so we're about $10,000 over that. But I do want to note that we are doing really well on FF&E for the total project. So the next slide has a breakdown of where we were at the beginning of the project. During design, we thought the science tables were going to come in a lot higher than they did. So we were thinking that with the science tables, we were going to be spending $674,000, although our budget in the revised budget was $446,000. So we thought we were going to be way over on FF&E, and currently with the field house revisions and still having placeholders for phase 3 for music and phase 4 for counseling, along with some admin money and some miscellaneous other money, We're projected to come in at 474,000 instead, so we're about 27,700 over budget, but that is a lot better than where we thought we were gonna be. So right now, we're currently under an FF&E as a whole, but just looking at what we have coming up still, I think we're in really good shape. So we are looking for a vote today for the field house equipment in the amount of $29,421.34.
Okay. Any questions, comments? Okay, I'll take a motion to approve 29,421.20,
So moved.
34, for the field house equipment.
So moved.
Joe, a second? Okay. Bridget?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Jennifer? Jen?
Yes, sorry, my button wouldn't work.
Okay, and I vote yes.
So one other item I did want to mention with FF&E, since we have been meeting with the new AD, we went through his office layout for the new AD's office, and he requested that his desk be shifted in a different direction, which requires a different desk layout than what we had ordered previously. So there's some modifications that can be made to the desk that was ordered in April, along with two, I believe, small file cabinets that he was looking for. So Stephen did want us to bring this up tonight to the committee. These changes come to $815 to modify the layout and the furnishings that were previously approved for the athletic director's office. I don't know what people's thoughts are, if we just leave it how it was, previously approved, or we want to modify it to how the new athletic director would use the office a little bit more. The main thing was turning his desk. He doesn't want to face the wall, he wants to face out, so the door, and then seeing people come in and out, and then some additional file cabinets.
Kate?
Yes.
One question, and we ran into this at the fire department. When the new fire chief came in, no, not the new fire chief, when he moved his desk,
Yep.
we had to change outlets. I just want to make sure that if we're going to get him a new desk, that we don't have to spend $3,000 or $4,000 to move outlets. So,
Matt, do you want to, or Danielle, do you want to talk to that? I mean, it's in the same location, it's just rotating, so I don't think we would be affecting the outlets, but
Yeah, I was gonna say we should be okay because instead of it being a U, it's just gonna be an L, so it's still gonna be able to get back to that same wall with the power and data. So I don't think there should be any major issues there.
okay, thank you. So you'd be looking for a vote on this one?
yeah, for $815 if we do want to revise the previous layout for the new athletic director.
So motion?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Bridget? Joe? John?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Myself, yes.
All right. So another item we wanted to touch on are site furnishings. So there are 6 benches, I believe 5 46-inch round picnic tables, some trash cans, bike racks, and an ADA table. They're highlighted on the plan. They were initially designed in the project, and then they were value engineered out earlier on before we went out to bid. So this is something that has come back up, and I think, Matt, you can touch on a little bit more, but we did reach out to Warner Larson, who's a landscape architect, to look at this equipment. And the numbers that they came back at were pretty high. It was about 60,000 for the items they were looking at. Matt, anything to add?
No, but you summed it up pretty well. Basically, we had a bunch of, in the courtyard, we had the tables in the back, some cafe tables. We had some seating benches around the front, and then the bike racks. Again, it all got VE'd out in order to get the project back on budget when the CDs went out. And Patrick reached out to MassCore. We got a quote from Warner Larson. We passed that along. Patrick passed that information along to MassCore, which is who I believe they used for some of the equipment and benches that got purchased for the middle school. So he reached out to them, got a separate price, and that came in at $15,900, I think. I can't read that, but much lower than the estimates that we got back from our landscape engineer.
Yep, so we're looking for a vote to approve the site furnishings outlined in the quote for MassCore that come to 15, I think that says, like,
094.
15094, is that what it says? And this is captured in the FF&E other line item that was broken down above, so that is within the FF&E numbers we just reviewed.
And I think the only other thing to add in is, Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong, but the town will be installing this. It's all loose. Nothing needs to really get bolted down, so they'll be doing the install here and not Agostini.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Matt. That's exactly what we're doing for the middle school too, so the DPW accepts that at the location on Washington Street, and then, you know, at the point where the project's ready to receive them, they'll bring them over and just kind of install them loosely, so there's no hard installation there, so.
Kate, I think you said just about 5 minutes ago that our total FF&E budget right now is about $27,000 more than what is budgeted.
Yep.
Is this 15 gonna go on top of that 27, or is it included in the 27?
Included in that.
Okay.
It is calculated into the other line item on the summary.
Okay.
That comes to the 16,000.
If anybody wants to, someone want to make a motion to approve 15,000, whatever that number is, that's two, right?
94.57.
So moved.
So moved.
So moved. Second, that was John. Bridget?
Sure, second.
Joe? Yes. John?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Right, next we have the vendor invoice package for September. So we have our standard TAP-A, Vertex invoices, Agostini Rec, and then we have some FF&E invoices and technology invoices from the science edition, or science renovation. I'm gonna read this one, it's a little bigger. So the Agostini Rec is for $2,076,461.67. They are currently 71% complete with their contract. We have an updated total project budget included in the vendor invoice package. And we are looking for a vote for the September invoice package in the amount of $2,214,721.15.
Any further discussion? Take a motion to approve $2,214,721.15.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
going around, Bridget?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
I vote yes, too.
All right. The next building committee meeting is scheduled for November 18th. Do we want to bump up the meeting to start at 6:30 rather than 7 now that we don't have a middle school meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
One thing I will ask, I have a firm commitment with the select board at 7 o'clock. I can't be there, that's when we set the tax rate. So, it's an annual meeting. So, I'll ask Jeff as the vice chair to chair it, and let's make sure that we can get a quorum. I know I won't be there. I can probably be there at the beginning, but we have a lot of preparation to do for that meeting.
Jack, if you don't make that meeting, do my taxes stay the same?
John, we'll take care of you.
Thanks.
All right. Okay, so that's it. So, any other new business? Anything we want to cover? I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Okay, second. All right, Bridget?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good